While lawmakers and activists debate ways to stop school shootings, there are still so many questions about what happened in Parkland. So we are digging deeper into transcripts from a woman who warned the FBI about Nicholas Cruz to see which warning signs were missed. The call came in 5 weeks before the mass shooting at Stoneman Douglas High School. The caller, whose name is removed from the transcript, said she was worried that Cruz was going to explode. We don't know the relationship between Cruz and this caller, but she talks about witnessing some horrifying things inside his home. She said, quote, he pulled a rifle on his mother before she had passed away because he wanted to get money. The woman says, quote, I just know I have a clear conscience. If he takes off and just starts shooting places up. The FBI employee responds by saying, okay, and did he say he would do that or he just wanted to, ma'am? I want to bring in Nightside reporter Josh Sidorowitz. Josh, you took this transcript to a psychologist to see what she thought about it.
And I did, and I specifically asked her about the response there from the FBI about whether he would or wanted to shoot up someplace. And maybe not very surprisingly, she said that shouldn't make a difference.
I think, unfortunately, what sort of mandates and laws and regulations that maybe law enforcement have or police officers or other, governing bodies have in terms of intervening are different than, what I would encourage from a medical standpoint. And that's where I think things get a little bit more tricky.
And Josh, the caller also talked about Cruz abusing and torturing animals and says, quote, he brought the bird into the house, he threw it on his mother's kitchen counter, and he started cutting it up. Yeah, it's something I also asked Dr. Reese about. She says signs like those are textbook red flags. And the caller ends with a very eerie note. She says, quote, he's thrown out of all of these schools because he would pick up a chair and just throw it at somebody, a teacher or a student, because he didn't like the way they were talking to him. I just think about, getting into a school and just shooting the place up. Before Dr. Reese and I wrapped up our conversation, I asked her, okay, as a mental health professional, are you not left dumbfounded as you're reading this transcript? And she agrees. It's really a startling example, she says, of a much bigger issue.
It's very sad because I've seen this not just in this situation, I've seen it in my own practice where families have asked for help in a way and sort of, they don't get the help that they need at that moment, and then it leads to a very poor outcome. And so again, I think it's a system issue that needs to be addressed, from multiple levels.
In Catalina, 2 days after the shooting, the FBI did publicly acknowledge that it did not send the tip to the FBI Miami field office. And today, a Florida House committee recommended a full review into how government agencies dealt with warnings about Cruz like this phone call.